this is Shraddha, and this is assignment number 6, Advanced Loops of Python is Easy course. According to the assignment, we needed to display this pattern based on the given number of rows and columns. So I have defined two functions, create playing board, whose actual implementation is creating this particular pattern, and the function that is being called is called as playing board created. What it does is it makes a call to this particular function, and if the board is created, it prints that here is a playing board, else it will print that no playing board for you. We have determined the maximum number of rows and the maximum number of columns allowed. So first we are calling playing board created with the function with parameters rows as 5 and columns as 5, which are being collected here. These are then transferred to the function create playing board with the same number of rows and columns. Just minimize it. Okay, initially we are doing some kind of violations. Since both rows and columns need to be integer, first check is if they are not an integer, we return false, and for us it will be no playing board for you. So if you make it as, suppose, make as 5.5, so as per the given condition it should return false. We'll head to the terminal and go home directory 6, then we'll run python main.py. It will say no playing board for you because this violation will fail. Next is it should not be less than 1 or any negative numbers, and both rows and columns are not allowed to be more than the maximum number of rows or the columns allowed. So here we can see the maximum number of rows allowed is 49. So let us make it 585. So we expect it to return this false and print no playing board. To our terminal, we'll run again and we'll see no playing board. Finally, if all these conditions are if they do not fall into these conditions and they are valid values of rows and columns, we'll start making the board. Now as you can see in the diagram, these are called as the rows. Now whenever we encounter an even index for that particular row, we print the pipe symbols. So if you go inside, if rows dot mod 2 is equal to 0, it means it is divisible by 2 and it's an even number, we print the pipe symbol. If it is an odd, then we need to print the dashes. So let's go inside. Now it's time for the columns. So these are the columns. So you can see whenever there is an even index for the column, there is a space. You can see 0, 2 and 4. And whenever there is an odd one, there is a pipe symbol. So the exactly same thing we have done. If column is an even number, then print spaces. We are looping to the column, exactly similar how we were looping to the rows. So if a column is even, we'll print spaces, else we'll print the pipe symbol. So in here, what we are seeing is, if it is the last column, then we need to print a new line. So first we are defining nchar with an empty string. If it is a last element, then the nchar will become a new line character. And finally we are printing spaces with defining this end value. Else if it is not a column is an odd number, then we print dashes. Now it's time to print the dashes now. So we'll go to the else part. The else part is executed when the rows are odd numbers. So we'll go here. It's exactly similar to the above one. We loop through the columns, we go on printing the dashes, and as soon as we encounter and that we have reached the maximum number of columns allowed, we print a new line. So we have defined nchar with empty string, and as soon as we realize that it's the last element, we modify nchar with a new line character, and then we print dashes with the particular end value. Finally, we are just printing it to have a new line, and then we are returning true. So if you make it as 5 5, just clear this one, you will get the pattern. Now let us make it as maximum. We'll make it as maximum rows allowed and maximum columns allowed. We'll head to the terminal, clear it, and we'll print the board with here is your playing board. So this is the end of the assignment. Thank you all.